Welcome to the Wonderland Effect. Today we have a very special guest. She's here to talk about something that's very near and dear to me. So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Kelsey Liana. I am a nutrition and fitness coach and a personal trainer.
Okay, so I think we talked about this. I know we've talked about this a couple times. And one of my icks, I guess you could say, is probably body image. Okay. Not only what social media has put out, but also about how I feel about myself. Because, body image is all personal, right? And, we've all had moments where you look in the mirror, you may not like exactly what you see. And by Webster's definition, it's a person's subjective picture or mental image of how they look. So I'm going to just go off into a literal loaded topic. What influences do you think matter the most when it comes to body image?
From my experience, social media for sure, family, your peers, your friends, your group you hang out with. That's what's influenced me the most throughout my life. Just, following people on Instagram or whatever was back when we were in high school, family members, how I viewed them and how they critiqued me or my body and other people in school.
Speaking of that, I had I'm going to go off a little bit on a little memory lane trip. I think that is so true because when I was younger, my mom was pretty fucking mean about body image. When I hear puberty, it was acne everywhere. Ridiculous amounts of acne. And of course, I'm 13 at the moment and I'm starting to like boys. So it kind of fucked me up because my mom would be like, you got pimples. She nicknamed me Pimple.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. And that's my mother. And she's always been like that. Or let's say I ate something and she felt like I ate too much. She'd be like, you're going to get fat. You're eating too much. And to me, at 13, who the fuck understands that their mom is telling them that they're fat and their nickname is Pimple?
Well, my mom did the same thing to me. She called me fat. I could tell you some I don't know how detailed my mom told me when I must have been a freshman, and she told me when I start having sex, all guys are gonna fuck are my fat folds. My mom told me that.
Oh my God.
So you gotta imagine you gotta imagine what that does to a teenager. And then mind you, all my other siblings were skinny. Oh. I was the only one that got the thicker body frame, which I got from my mom, mind you, the person that is ridiculing me for being naturally thick, and the one that's feeding me the junk food at home as well. So,
you think it's something that she possibly had as a mental issue?
I don't know what it's from. I talked to her about it later, and although it wasn't the way to go about it, I understood her intention. She was like, I told you that so that you wouldn't get fat. And I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you do it in a positive way? Why do you have to degrade me in order for me to be depressed and hate myself to not be fat?
I think, when I talked to my mom about it, it was more or less her logic in it was she didn't want us to only focus on beauty. But in turn, that's all it did was make me zone in on everything.
Yep.
Even when I got super skinny at one point, she was like, are you doing drugs? Are you okay? Now you want to ask me if I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. This is not
I haven't been okay.
I'm not okay. Because my weight would fluctuate. But it's true. That little part. Family really does matter. And I come from an islander family. So everybody's feeding everybody 24/7. And fatty foods. And even when you're not hungry, they make you sit there and they make you eat. And none of them are educated to be you don't tell your child to finish their food if they say they're not hungry, let them go. No, that wasn't the way I was raised. I just think that maybe, I don't know, when people parent like that, I think that's coming from their own insecurity, their own mental. So I did, forgive her for what was done, but I'll never forget that shit because as a 13-year-old and I'm starting to like guys and you just made me so insecure about my skin, my body, my sexuality, essentially, because she made me scared to have sex. She fucking bought home pamphlets and overloaded me with information about shit. Food, sex, diseases, everything. Anything she didn't want us to do.
Terrified you.
Overloaded us with it. And I mean, pro and con. The pro was I learned a lot of shit. The con was I learned a lot of shit. Yeah. And it just wasn't some of the shit you don't teach younger kids for a reason.
Yep.
So it was like, I don't know. And my mom was a toothpick. She was skinny. I was like, oh my God. Now it's like, I wish she took a little more time to dwell into herself, because I think you do a wonderful job on your social media, by the way, of telling people the truth about body image.
Well, that's what I try to do, because I've noticed I've picked girls apart or picked myself apart looking at girls on social media, and it's unrealistic. I mean, everyone is always going to post their best version of themselves, their best angles, their best pictures, their best workout videos, and I can't tell you how many videos in the past that I've posted of I've taken of myself, and I'm like, oh no, there's cellulite on there. I'm not going to post it, but that's real. That's reality. We have cellulite. We have stretch marks. We have all these things. My ass isn't always going to look good in leggings. Like, it's reality. So why not let people know that this is normal, instead of having them pick themselves apart at home, having them idolize you because I want to look like that. Girl, I don't look like this. I do not look like this.
How many times a day do you hear or get messaged about somebody wanting to look just like you? Or
I mean, I honestly not much. Okay. I'm not a super like fitness influencer. I'm not like the baddest bitch out there. I mean, I don't look bad, but I'm not like, oh my God, she's got a fat ass and abs and like. I mean, I'm all right. I'm fit. I work out, but I'm not. I don't know.
You're not where you want to be, essentially.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I try to post things that are like realistic.
See, and I think you do, like I said, I think you do a wonderful job of that, because you not only do the fitness part of it, like physical fitness in the gym, but you also do when it comes down to the diet, which a lot of people, myself included, will ignore the diet but still try to go to the gym. I think literally that's what connected me to you the most, was your meal preps. And a lot of people probably don't know that you were doing meal preps for a long time.
Unless you're an OG on my Instagram.
Yeah. So that was one thing that was really like, and they were fucking fire. Like your meal preps were fire. Is literally the only way that I was ever going to get to a point of liking fitness or having any kind of knowledge of that, was if I got my eating together, which cannot outwork a bad diet.
Yep.
And I think you were the one that said it, and that just stuck to me like that. And I was like, fuck, well, there it is. So
that was why I started my meal prep page or my meal prep business, because I struggle with eating too. Like, I was a big foodie before I got like really dedicated to my current phase. I'm a foodie. I like food. So how do you find a healthy version to eat the foods you enjoy? Like, how do you find it? How do you make the foods you love healthy? So I would just mess around with things, and all my friends and coworkers would tell me to start doing it as a business, because I'm really good at it and I'm really creative. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. So I did, and it did pretty good for the Central Valley, the little area I was in. I did pretty good.
I loved it. Like, I think, but I didn't realize you were also going through a lot of emotional shit at the same time. So like, I mean, you also don't put your business out there like that, which I love too, is because, you know, people are quick to go and post everything, but you are absolutely not like that. I haven't seen that side of you, but I did notice when you stopped posting so much, and then you came on and said, you know, I've been going through a lot of stuff. So that made sense. But when you're dedicated, you're dedicated. I ain't never seen you not do what you said you were gonna do. Like, and how long have I known you? About 2 years?
When did I start going to Ceci's gym? 2020?
So 3 years.
December 2020.
Yeah, the 3 years. Yeah. Because I met you, and that's when I first bought from you. I think she was mad because I bought it from somebody else. But anyways. But yeah, I think that in itself is such a beautiful thing, and I can't wait for you to start doing that again. Hint, hint. I'm just kidding. But this is going to lead me into my next topic, the body positivity debate.
Okay.
So obviously you're aware of it. And for those that are not, the body positivity has been a movement for a while now, where people are encouraging people to love themselves as they are, in whatever state they are. I agree to it to a point. Me personally, I know that I'm responsible for what I put in my body. So if I'm fat, I did that. If I'm skinny, I did that. If I'm fit, I also did that. I also believe that with the latest stats on obesity, we also have contributed to now a bigger obese society. And now we have made it to a point where it's positivity and it's okay. You can't fat shame anybody. They still like to skinny shame people. And I just want to know, like, what do you think about that? The body positivity.
Honestly, I mean, I've been overweight, and then I've been like, I haven't been super skinny, but I've been to the point where I'm like, you know what? I have been super skinny. I've have had eating disorders. I've had like drug problems, trying to get skinny. I've done it all. So I can see it on both sides. I've had like really skinny friends that are insecure about being skinny, and to me, as long as you're comfortable in your own skin and you're healthy, if you go to the doctor regularly, you get checkups, you're healthy. I mean, if you like it, I love it. I mean, that's personally how I feel about it. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think it has an effect on this dating pool?
It could. No, I mean.
So I'm going to elaborate a little bit. I consume quite a bit of podcast information, obviously, for my own research purposes, and I have my favorite ones. What I've noticed is a consistent flow of this incoming masculinity and a lot of the podcasts for men to increase their masculinity. One of the things that they talk about, and it's a topic amongst them all, is fitness within women or body image within women and what it's done to women as a whole. And just speaking from my own point of view, it has a con to it. I see a lot more bigger women who are
rebelling
all out. And, you know, power to you. If you are confident enough to do that, that's wonderful. My problem is when they fat shame skinnier women or when they expect the fit men to just be okay with the way that they are. Honestly speaking, fit men are going to want a fit woman.
Yeah.
Unless they just have a thing for it. It's literally a thing. Like, even some of the articles I read about a bigger woman, she was upset and sued, an airline because they didn't accommodate her size. And, you know, this is a pretty big woman. Not only that, but you're really not supposed to be flying that big because of health reasons. But just in that, in itself, you know, here we are as a society and we're wondering why everybody's getting so big or everybody is so unhealthy, because being obese is not healthy. A lot of it's lack of accountability. A lot of it's people thinking that they're entitled to it because body positivity has told them it is okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay to not take accountability for what you're putting into your body or whatever you may have going on. And if you do have a health reason, I think that you should dwell, you know, like you said, go to the doctor, get some help. Let them teach you how to take better care of your body.
Yeah.
It's just setting us up for a really bad ride as women in itself. Like body image in itself is hard. I can't imagine some of these women that are huge. Like, eventually, one day, you're going to have to take accountability for that, whether that be with health.
And it's going to be too late.
And what do you do then? And these people have kids, too. And that goes, you know, you as a mother, you're responsible for that little person, for her.
Setting an example.
Yes. And how would you recommend, or how do you do it for yourself?
Take care of myself?
Not even just yourself, but like, yes, your body image. Let's start with that one. Yeah, let's go with that. So how do you maintain your own body image?
I just kind of stopped. I stopped trying to pick myself apart. I've accepted myself for who I am, whether I'm like in a growing phase or I'm in a cutting phase, or I don't like what I look like today, but maybe I will tomorrow. I mean, I can't, if I don't like myself today, all I can do is, I don't know, put on a hoodie and not look at myself. If I'm having a bad mental health day, I'm not going to look at myself. That's just how I deal with it because I know I'm going to pick myself apart. So I'll put on a hoodie and I won't look at myself and then hope I feel better tomorrow. And if I don't, I'll just wear another hoodie. I try not to portray it to my daughter. So I don't talk about myself and I don't talk about bodies. I don't talk about body image in front of her necessarily. I talk about health. So I won't ever use the word skinny. I won't use the word fat. I won't use any of those words in front of her because I don't know. It's so, it's a triggering word for me. I use the word strong. I use the words healthy. I use all those things. So for example, right now I'm trying to get ready to get into like bodybuilding and competing. Mm-hmm. So I have to weigh my food out. There's been times when I don't eat any carbs and I go to the gym for 2 hours a day. So, and when I was cutting, I was doing it like 2 times a day. I had to do doubles. That. So how do you think that's going to affect her? She's going to think she has to do that when she gets older. So I've showed her pictures of competitors, and I'm like, look, mommy's doing this. Mommy's weighing her food out. Mommy can't have your snacks, can't have sweets because of this reason. I have a competition. I'm trying to compete. It's for a certain goal. And when I show her the pictures, I don't say, look how skinny they are. I say, look at all those muscles. Look how strong they look. Do they look strong? And then I will show her videos of me, like, working out. And I'll be like, oh, look how much I lifted today. Like, I'm so strong. Like, it's just the wording. To me, honestly, that's how I try to portray it on her.
And that's beautiful because she'll remember the reinforcement, the positive reinforcement. Not only that, but you're teaching her lifelong skills. Like, she's watching you. Like, I think you posted about her making her bed because you've never told her to do that, but she did it.
She sees me do it.
Seeing you.
Yep.
So the effect it's going to have of her seeing you so disciplined within the gym and the fact that you watch your word content with her is even better. And I think it's healthy for you to not dwell into, the mental health issues when you're going through it, because a lot of people, they like to sit in that shit.
Yeah.
They like to sit there and be
I've done it before, and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this shit anymore. Exactly. What did that lead to me? What did that lead me doing? Starving myself, doing drugs, crying. I've been to a point where I've literally looked at myself in the mirror, and I just cried because I hated myself.
Yeah.
And I've been there before, and I would absolutely, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean. I mean, even as I'm not fat, but I know I'm curvy, and I like that part because I did this. I like this. This is where I'm at right now. Am I gonna get better? Of course, but I think, like you said, not sitting in it is way better than sitting in it and dwelling and just repeating the same cycle of I'm this, instead of watching your word content with yourself. Like, hey, today ain't a good day, but I'm still beautiful. I still got curves. Like, everybody needs to find their own way out of it. Like, everybody's gonna go through it. And like, I just commend the moms, because especially the little girls, like, you have little women, like, this is a little woman that in itself, she's in a very great position. She's got a strong mama who's very disciplined and teaching her great life habits. Like, the fact that you don't have to tell her to make her bed, and she's making her bed off of observation. Oh my God.
Well, when I went grocery shopping like 2 weeks ago, probably, I always ask everyone in the house, I'm like, oh, what do you guys want? What do you guys want from the store? She wanted blueberries, strawberries, and bananas for smoothies, Mommy. She asks for a smoothie every day.
I forgot you guys do. Yes, that's so cute.
And she'll what were we doing? Oh, we were out, and her and her dad were getting Panda, and then she asked if I wanted some more food. I'm like, oh no, baby, I can't. She had chow mein and orange chicken. I was like, oh no, baby, like, I'm not gonna eat that. I like my chicken. And she was like, oh, this is chicken. I'm like, oh, I can't have that. I was like, but that's good for you. It's strong. It's chicken. And then she was like, oh yeah, you like your chicken and your rice. And I'm like,
she understands.
She pays attention. She knows what I do, and I try to teach her what's good for her, but I also don't rob her of her food. You know what I mean?
But it also, like, that's so cool. Like, there's so many positive things from that. And the fact that on the health side, like, what is going to be great for your body and not great for your body will help her in the long run. Because when parents don't know about that shit, it could damage the child. Like, now you got a kid who doesn't understand their relationship with food. And that is such a big thing, because I'm telling you, I get in my mood. I don't do it anymore as much, but I used to ice cream by the pint, like, and I mean,
just smacking it back,
just by itself. Is that or alcohol? One of them was happening. But I turned to the ice cream a little more. Now I limit myself. If I'm gonna have ice cream, it's probably gonna be like once or twice a month.
Yeah.
If and only if.
See, I have a mad sweet tooth too. That's my thing.
I did try this new thing, as not off topic, but it's kind of away from what we're talking about. I tried protein balls for the first time.
Okay.
That motherfucker was fire.
I was like, you made them?
No, from what is it? Valley Meal Prep.
Okay.
So there's 2 places that I'll go to out in Stockton area. The Shaw Bar, She personally owns it. She makes the food there. She has a whole restaurant menu and then meal prep menu plus smoothies, and then she has. I just did her 3-day detox. It's not for me. I don't like smoothies.
Oh, okay.
The chia seeds that they put in, that gives it that consistency, and I don't like it. Like, I tried to drink it. It just made me want to barf. I like the juices. I can do the 3-day juice detox, but that fucking smoothie shit, first day was fine. Second day, I was like, oh my God, no. Never again. But I do like that she's also a nutrition coach, and she'll break it down with me and teach me a little more. Or I was going through really bad inflammation like last week. I had no idea you can use some of the shit like teas and stuff to cleanse your system. She gave me this honey tea. The next day I was decongested.
Yeah.
Like that ginger and honey and some lemon. I don't know what else she put in it, but I kid you not, the next day it's just like night and day.
Yeah. No, I'm very like holistic when it comes to things like that. I like fresh herbal kind of things.
But it just goes to show, like, food can heal your body in amazing ways.
The right food.
But if you keep pumping yourself with all this shit, then you're going to get shit.
Well, see, that kind of goes back to food, goes back to, like, obesity. So this is my tangent on food and how I feel like it leads to obesity and why something might not... I mean, yeah, what you put in your body is what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like, if you put shit in your body, you're going to get overweight. You're going to feel like shit. But you got to think about it. Food, look at all the... I don't watch TV much, but for example, like the Super Bowl commercials, what kind of commercials do they have?
Taco
Doritos. Doritos, Taco Bell, soda, shit. It's all shit food. And that's what everyone's consuming. And why is it cheaper?
They want it accessible to everybody.
They want it accessible to everybody because they want you sick.
Yeah.
Because it goes back into the medical industry. Because then, guess what? You need medication for diabetes, for heart disease, for all these things. Now, it's a whole circle. They're going to have lower prices on the garbage food, the processed food. Why is Top Ramen so cheap?
It's very consumer.
Because it's going to make you feel like shit. It's going to mess with your body. The sodium content's high. You're going to have to go to the doctor. You're going to have to get medication. It's a vicious cycle. And that's why sometimes it's not 100% on the person. Like, you are consuming it, yes. But society in a whole and the media is feeding all this for you. Feeding all this to you and making you eat shit and making it so this is what's affordable for you to eat this way so that you're sick. They want everyone sick.
It's 1,000%. I agree with you. And not only that, but anytime somebody tries to talk about holistic societies, what happens to them?
Yep.
Anytime somebody tries to tell anybody otherwise, they slowly get washed out. And I definitely do agree. And pharmaceutical companies, they gross over billions of dollars because the elderly population is the first target. Second target is the middle class because they want everybody to eat what the fuck they got going on. And if you study the colors of all these signs, the food places, and the way that they look, all of those colors are designed to trap your images.
Yep.
They are...
Psychologically.
Yeah. It's really sick. It's really sick. Like, the more you do research on these things and the more you understand, all of this is, like you said, a vicious cycle to keep us trapped. And what are we trapped in? Obesity.
Yep.
Unhealthy lifestyles that require us to spend thousands of dollars on the healthcare.
But if you spend that extra money eating chicken breasts, eating potatoes, eating rice, eating vegetables, Greek yogurt, all those things that, when you get to the register, it might be more pricey, but at years eating the cheap stuff, you're going to go to the doctor and you're going to have to pay for these pills. You're going to have to pay for all this stuff for the rest of your life. And it's going to add up anyways.
You become dependent on it.
Exactly.
It's crazy because I think one of the things only reason I did research in the pharmaceutical companies was because I was going to buy vitamins. And everybody who knows me knows I like vitamins. They're like my thing now. They're like, any vitamin that I can do research on and find, I will put it in my regimen, and that's how I go about it. I didn't even know half of this shit could help me with, like, my cramps for my period. Like, what was it, fenugreek? That helps me with the cramps. I used to have fucking brutal-ass cramps. And part of that was because of the way I was eating.
Yeah.
But with the magnesium that I'm taking and the fucking fenugreek, vitamin D, all of those, I have no cramps. Period is light as fuck. Not light, but it's normal. It's not heavy rainfall and fucking clumps of massive ass tissue. Like, I didn't realize.
Because your body's in optimal condition.
Yeah, and I'm taking freaking turmeric, which I didn't know was good for inflammation. And all the foods that I was eating was so hyper-inflammatory that even fucking eating things like that fucks up your digestive system. Like I said, your periods, your everything that is involved. Your face will be 2 times swelled up. And I've noticed that too. When I go from eating healthy to unhealthy, my body is swollen. Yeah. It's like...
Because it's like, what did you just put in me?
Or I
can't digest this. I can't... What is this? It's foreign.
It's sickening. Oh, you know what's crazy? Now that you say that, like, I think the biggest... This is just me, but my mom likes diet soda, and it bothers me. Because I feel like that's the biggest fallacy, is like, when you market something as 0 calories, it's like people see it's healthy.
I'm a victim of drinking diet soda.
Like diet sodas.
But I agree with reading the labels. I've used to post that a lot on my Instagram. I probably should again.
I was like, yeah, you did. That's the only reason I started reading what the fuck was on my nutrition facts.
Because you look at, they post things that are like calories or low carb, but it's like, okay, well, what's in here then?
The sodium.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is it? Oh, added sugars.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Like, I've never taken the time until you posted about it. And then I was watching something, and they were like, you know how people maintain so much weight? Added sugars.
Yeah.
Stop drinking your sugar. And I was like, I'm going to go read
this.
All
the juices. Go look at the juices that you get, even at Trader Joe's. You go look at, like, their green juice or whatever. There's, like, I forgot, like, 32 grams of sugar in that. And, okay, some of them even may be natural, but 32 grams of sugar is a lot.
That is.
Even if it's natural sugars. It's still a lot to consume, just smacking it back. And then all the other sugars and carbs and everything else you're eating throughout the day, it adds up. But you don't realize it.
Of it. Because to you, you're just consuming the juice. And it says natural.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's literally what it is. But as soon as, when you start looking at that, you start realizing how much shit you're putting into your body. Yeah. And it's like, oh, shit. That's why. And you know what else? I downloaded that MyFitnessPal. I hate that thing. It makes me so unhappy sometimes because I don't even want to eat because I have to fucking put it in the thing. And I'm like, hey.
Well, that's why when I post on my Instagram, sometimes I stop posting so much because I eat the same thing every single day. I'm sure people are tired of seeing chicken and potatoes, or, oh, she has rice with her chicken today, or potatoes with her beef. But it makes it simple for me. I know where my calories are. I know where my proteins are. I know where my carbs are. And I don't have to keep adding things. Now, that kind of diet's not for everybody, which is why I did, like, again, meal prep things, and to show that you don't necessarily have to do that. And counting macros can be somewhat simple, and you could find ways to eat healthy within your macros. But that's why I eat the way I do, is because I don't want to deal with the headache of calculating over and over again. I'd rather eat the same thing every day.
You know, psychologically, that's probably the best strategy. It's true, because our issue is we have so many options.
Yeah.
And when you have too many options, you're going to pick the wrong one over anything because you have too many. But if you pick something consistently, your body will only crave that, and you'll only be eating that. So it's really simple. I understand it now. I didn't understand it before, you know, like when you guys start cutting. I never fucking understood why you want to put yourself through that. But now that I know the psychology behind it, it's understandable.
Yeah.
We're people, we are a race of, not a race, but like we're generated for habit.
Yeah, creatures of habit.
So there we go. That's what I was missing. So when you create that habit, as plain as you might make it, that is the best thing you can do, because your habits make your life.
Yep.
So if you literally have this set up, that's what you crave. And overall, like, I need to start doing that. That's my next move, was to shift over from too many choices and go back into like scaling back. I also like literally left all of my cards, like I cut up all my cards, I leave it at home now, and whatever I bring, that's what I eat.
Yeah.
So it's all about what you do.
Well, then eating a simple diet, another reason why like people eat a super simple diet, or bodybuilders eat a super simple diet, is it's like what's the term, like elimination. Like, you don't know what's causing your body to be inflamed if you're eating all of this. Now, let's say I cut out my rice and I start eating sweet potatoes, and then my body blows up. Like, it's just holding on to water. Maybe my body doesn't like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't know that if I'm eating sweet potatoes Thursday and Saturday and rice. Like, my body's always gonna be inflamed, and I'm not gonna know, is it the rice, is it the potatoes, is it the protein waffles, is it chicken? I'm not gonna know what it is unless I literally start taking things out and I find what my body likes.
True. I didn't even think about that. That's clever, because that is true. If you don't have so much shit, you know what's doing it.
Exactly. So then if you try something, you were like, oh, okay, well, I want to incorporate this in there. And then all of a sudden you have backed up digestion.
It was that.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what did it. And you're like, yeah, I'm not going to eat that again.
Yeah, I need to do that. There are some things I need to take from this conversation and implement it in my own life, because I am building my own habits. Like, literally, there are things that I'm changing slowly but surely. Just because, like, by this time next year, I promise I'm going to have the body that I want. It's just my goal. That's what I want. And a lot of these things I'm doing to myself. So be your own example. That's literally, like, how I live my life, how I live my everything, like work life, home life. I want both of those, even when I'm here. And, you know, even when I'm interviewing, I want to be the same way, having habits that lead to better lifestyles. And in order for me to do that, I got to cut this shit out. I do like candy, though. I'm not going to lie. That's my problem.
I like chocolate.
Okay. So how do you continuously motivate your clients?
So, honestly, hold them accountable. For example, I have clients for a 6-week program right now. And every week we do a challenge. Like, I pick a challenge to do this week. We're going to do this. Last week, I gave them a challenge. They were like, well, I didn't really do it every day. So I was like, all right. So this week is a new challenge. And I was like, I'm going to do it with you. I'm the type of person where, like, I'm going to set the example. I'm going to lead you through this. So if your coach is like, well, I'm going to do it with you this week, are you going to do it?
Hell yeah.
And we have to do, like,
now we're there.
Selfie accountability pictures that we send to each other. So I sent my picture this morning. They're probably going to look at it and be like, oh, damn, I got to do this now. Yeah, exactly.
I got to do it.
So if I just hold them accountable by setting the example. If I don't do it, why would they do it? You know what I mean?
I get it. And it makes it more fun. Like, when you get to a point, I like that. Because if I see you doing it, it's only going to bring out, I'm competitive, though.
Yeah.
I like to compete. That's, like, my thing. So if I see somebody else doing it, it's going to prompt me to do it a little more. Although I like to be the one to be like, you know, to implement it. I don't mind a little competition either. I think that's beautiful in itself. What else did I want to ask you? I think that's about it. Actually, you know, a lot of these things that we talked about today, it's surprising me, but it's similar to the way that I run my team. Like, a lot of the things. I didn't even realize that until this moment, sitting here talking with you.
Like, at work?
Yeah, like,
okay.
And I think it's beautiful. And maybe there are some things that I can change. Not some things, a lot of things. Like, on my team, we had, like, a 60-day water challenge. So everybody had to drink a gallon of water for 60 days. I won. But it was fun for them because I'm their boss. It was fun. It was like everybody was trying to beat me. I was like, you're not going to beat me because there's no way. All I do is sit at this desk.
Well, then that sets more competition for them. They're like, yeah, really? Bet.
And I put $100 on the table. So
that makes it more incentive.
It was even a thing. And I was just like, I didn't count myself, but the person who got the closest is the one that won. So it was just fun. But when we involve everybody, it's a different program.
Yeah.
So I'm going to close it out. I think when it comes to the body image overall, it's up to you. Like, you got to be either the change you want to be, or you got to take accountability for what you're not changing. And I do think society has a pretty fucked up loop. I think that's going to stick with me for, like, the rest of the day. The fucked up loop of life. And if there's one thing I'm going to change by the end of this year, is my loop. So change your loop. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Hopefully you'll come
again. Thank you for having me.
I loved it. Every minute of it. And we're done.